What's up, everybody? It is now November. This is Langeflix Media. We're doing our first double feature duty.
Yes, sir.
Today we're doing Videodrome and They Live. And the first one we're going to do is Videodrome. This was a movie, actually, that we saw.
That we were blindsided by.
Yes.
Actually, I would say.
Yeah.
Because
right.
I feel like this is a movie that you should be like, all right, this is kind of a crazy movie, guys. So like we were kind of just like, oh, you want to see a movie?
Well, yeah, it was back when we were working with a different production team, and we were working on a horror thing, and they were like, hey, we have this like weird movie we want to show you guys, and they didn't even like say that much.
They didn't even say that.
We were just like, hey, you ever heard of Videodrome?
Yeah.
Cool, we're gonna watch it.
Yeah.
All right, fuck it. So we this is a movie. It's David Cronenberg. So I mean, if you're familiar with him, you know like his newer stuff's a lot of like drama. But then, like back in the day, he did like body horror, sci-fi horror, that kind of thing. I would say, people that probably listen to us would know him from Scanners, because Scanners is like hailed as the greatest head explosion in movie history. And then the other thing, the biggest thing I think he's ever done is probably The Fly. I think that's what people know him from.
From The Fly.
Yeah,
that's a good movie.
That's a great movie. So we're introduced right off the bat to James Woods' character Max Wren.
And remember, I didn't even, I only knew James Wood from Family Guy, so...
Right.
Yeah, that was the funniest thing,
that
actually.
That was really funny.
Seeing him in person, I should say.
Because we watched this years ago. Did you realize it was him then?
No.
You didn't even realize
No.
then? Okay.
Not at all.
So watching it again, like a week ago, I think, I told you, I was like, yeah, it's James Woods. You were like, what?
Didn't I literally say, from Family Guy? like literally.
He's like... it says president of Civic TV, so it's a Canadian TV station.
Okay.
And he's like, you get the impression right off the bat he's a little sleazy, and he's like looking for the pushy stuff.
Yeah.
You know, like he likes the edge. Harlan, the guy who always calls him Cabron or whatever, for whatever reason, he shows him this thing called Videodrome, and this basically is like a snuff movie.
Yeah, pretty much.
Is how it starts, but then it turns into like psycho manipulation.
It doesn't end up being some
Yeah. No, you can say it.
Okay, it doesn't end up being some government program or something like that. Okay.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be like MK Ultra.
Yeah. Oh wow, I didn't even. Wow, that's pretty.
I mean, that's what I think.
Right.
I don't know.
No, it seems like it.
That's just the kind of real life connection I was drawing. That, and in the 80s, how remember I told you Sam Raimi had to go argue for Evil Dead and that whole movies that turn us into monsters.
Yes.
And it's
video games are gonna make your kids violent.
You're just trying to find an excuse for lack of psychology. But anyway, so Max sees this and he's blown away, and he is just completely convinced that this is the future of entertainment.
Right.
And he's completely sold on it, to the point where you're like, I don't know if you should be this zealous about
this hype about it.
Yeah, because it's A, it's awful, but then B, it's I don't know. You think your average person is gonna like this? He does.
They made a really good point though when they were on the talk show, the TV host talk show, or whatever. How they were saying a lot of people have those repressed feelings, and then pretty much saying of course they wouldn't watch it in front of other people, but when you're alone, it's the type of thing you would watch. It's I can
so
see that.
Guilty pleasure.
Right. Exactly.
He tells the guy, he's like, hey, start putting this out. Let's start broadcasting this because it's a good show. Blah blah blah. And then. Oh yeah, so then we're introduced to Nikki Brand, and she and I think on the talk show, right?
Yeah.
He meets her and he starts hitting on her on the show.
On the show, yeah.
And you're just what?
Yeah. And by the way, while I gotta give him props because he was hitting on her while being blindsided by questions do you want to doom humanity or whatever they were asking him?
Do you want to affect America?
Yeah,
North America with this.
Weren't they literally do you view yourself as a good person? They were going at him, bro. Yeah, they were
I mean, for good reason. He's.
If people are watching, I mean,
although it is a hot seat question.
Yeah, it
is very much oh, come on our show.
Yeah,
and
put you on the spot.
Yeah, and then we're gonna fuck you up.
And so many people love doing that. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, gotcha journalism.
Yes.
Max, he shows Nikki an episode of Videodrome, And then after showing her this, she actually, like, at first I remember he's like, oh, it's kind of fucked up, and she's like, oh no, it's okay. And then she goes and like auditions for the show, and you're just like, holy shit,
you know,
this bitch is a freak. Like,
what's crazy about this is, so I keep jumping ahead. I'm so sorry.
You're fine, dude.
I'm
It's
so
cool.
sorry.
It's fine.
But so they have this sex scene, right?
I'll put a spoilers thing before.
Okay. I'm so sorry.
No,
I
it's
keep
cool.
work more.
It's fine, dude.
But like, so with the sex scene, right? They have a sex scene where it gets pretty kinky. He's sticking needles and shit in her ear.
Yes.
This happens after she watched Videodrome. So
Yes.
like, had she been this like crazy about sex and all that, or did Videodrome start turning her too?
Right.
It's like, that's crazy. I didn't even think about that until just now.
And also, I think the most, I don't want to say brilliant, because I did a brilliant counter in my Trick or Treat review, or in our Trick or Treat review, because I said brilliant like 8 fucking times.
Hey.
And I, like, every time I said it, I would put brilliant times 2.
Times
brilliant
2.
times 5. Like, because I was like, God damn it, I said that way too many times. But it is really genius how this movie is. It is about the argument about the video nasty, and like how, like, what do we have it in ourselves already, and the Videodrome brings it out, or does the Videodrome plant it in us?
Ah,
you know, like,
okay.
that's the ultimate thing
that you got from it. Okay,
like,
wow.
About Videodrome. Yeah, it's like, but it's also got this really like low key conspiratorial feel to it, where it's like, it's bigger than what they're showing us.
Yeah,
kind of thing,
big
you
time.
know? Like, there's more going on, and you get that feeling, but you
Big
don't
time.
know that for sure.
Because like, you definitely get that conspiracy theory aspect, especially towards the end. But yeah, at first I was just thinking like, all right, like, of course this is a little, you know, it's a little like, what would you call it? Like you said, push the envelope type thing.
Edgy.
But I was like, is this just like old America, and they're like, porn is bad for you, you know, or is this like something more? And yeah, it turned out to be something more.
Oh, it's
definitely.
way more.
Yeah.
This movie's nuts, dude.
Insane.
Max gets in contact with a porn producer.
Okay.
That's
okay.
who the lady is, and
she was trying to like warn him against it, against the video.
Yeah, because he like showed her, and he's like, I need your help like figuring out what's going on, and she's like, you should bury this. Like,
Yeah.
Don't let people see this. Like, blah blah blah.
She's in her own mystic words. It was way more like,
right.
Beware. Like, yeah.
Beware, white man.
The evil's before you. Like, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, so then I guess she tells him that the footage is real, and that it's the face of a political movement going on.
Okay.
That's the whole like aspect that kicks in that makes it like They Live to me. Not in a way where they're like the same movie, but they have a very similar thesis statement, I think.
Yeah, for sure.
She also tells him that Brian Oblivion knows about Videodrome. And Brian Oblivion, yeah, he's... I love that, like, you hear his name a couple times, and then he's like, of course Oblivion's not my real name.
Yeah, it's like...
And you're like, oh, okay, alright. Because I loved it at first, and then it's like, oh, okay.
Yeah, it's...
Because it's, like, so silly. So then they find Oblivion at a homeless shelter, and then... Oh, yeah, this is where people there, they, like, have them sitting in front of the TVs.
Yeah.
Remember? And they're all just, like, dead, like they're brain dead, just drones watching TV. Yeah. She pretty much wants to help her dad, like, replace all televisions, or all entertainment with televisions. Like, televisions are going to rule the world kind of thing, which is kind of true. But then... later than Max, he's watching a tape that Oblivion made to him, and basically because he won't meet with anybody in person, he's one of those like weird, like eccentric rich guys. But it's also, I think, due to like he knows what's really going on, and he knows if someone gets to him, it's done, like it's over. You know,
it'll stop being produced.
That's what I think. Well, no, because he's against Videodrome, right? Or no?
Is he? Oh yeah, they are.
He is. The daughter's not, right?
Because
Oh,
I
no,
know,
the
because
daughter
like
is,
I was gonna say,
yeah.
because the daughter gives him the tapes in like in the weird order.
Yeah,
and then, yeah,
that's right. No, yeah.
I know at least initially they are, but I know once like the tapes start getting like because the more he watches, the crazier it gets. I think like eventually the guy's trying to like convince him to watch Videodrome or something. I don't, yeah, it's just so much going on in that movie.
Oh yeah. So then in the video is where Oblivion tells him that Videodrome is like attempting to like enslave North America.
Okay.
Oh yeah, and then this is where Max like is tripping, and he thinks that Nikki's like talking to him through the TV.
And
he like puts his face in the TV,
and the TV starts
it's on
like
a couple of the
bulging.
posters.
Yeah,
and stuff. It's really good stuff. Like the tape, a few shots looks a little fake, a little rubbery, but the TV, looks fucking good,
yes,
dude.
like
no part of the TV, like that's why it's so mind fucky, because it's like that TV should not be doing that.
It should not be moving like that. Like,
It's really, really good stuff. So then Max goes back to try to talk to the shelter where Oblivion's at. So this is where the daughter tells him that Videodrome gives you a brain tumor.
Okay.
Yeah, this
gotcha.
is the part, yeah. And then the guy, Oblivion, he helped create it because he had it's a lot like the atom bomb. Like he had this good intention of the future, and they completely misconstrued it into something
Einstein.
awful. Yeah. Oh yeah. So when he found out about what Videodrome was really going to be, he tried to stop the people doing it, and then they used it to kill him. And then isn't it? Yeah, he's been dead this whole time, and like all the tapes somehow he made for Max. It's like crazy.
and then and the daughter gives it to him, and like the bits of information that Max needs, she gives it to him like bit by bit, pretty much. Until like the government guys or whatever take over. But
and I guess in that last year he was alive, Oblivion, he made tons of tapes and like basically like it's crazy because they have him on news shows and stuff.
Yeah.
But it's like all recording. Like, none of it's real. None of it's live. Yeah. So then, so this is the night that Max trips that he puts the gun in his stomach.
Oh god.
Because like it's so weird because I think nothing is going on except he feels like a pain in his stomach, and he lifts his shirt and there's like a pussy on his abs.
Yeah, and it's like at first I thought it was just like a gash, but they definitely say
it's
like
very
a
vaginal.
vagina,
Yeah, like it is very much. It's not just like a hole. In his stomach. It's purposefully sexual.
Which I don't know why I didn't get that at first. Like when we first watched it, I didn't think.
Well, you probably just your brain is so all over
yes.
the place. Like there's so many things to get in those movies.
Like that, like I said, that shit made my head hurt watching that. Like when we were done with that movie, I literally had a headache. I think I had a brain tumor from the fucking Videodrome, but that movie like took me for a loop.
The first time you get a brain tumor from a good movie. So then Barry Convex, who is the guy behind Videodrome, contacts Max, and he's basically the front, or he runs the front for an arms company.
Okay.
That's like the glasses company or whatever, and then he records Max's fantasies of whipping Nikki at the TV.
This is when he puts the device on. Okay.
And then Max wakes up and finds the gypsy lady in his bed dead. Remember? Yeah.
But then it's like she's not actually dead.
Right.
Yeah.
The
craziest thing about Videodrome, like why I keep saying like, oh man, that shit made my mind hurt, is because like you're like losing your mind with the character the entire movie.
And it never feels like shitty writing.
No.
It's always like, no, like this movie's one step ahead of you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Always. Like even up to the ending, it's like, what the fuck? Like
Max meets Harlan again at the studio. He wants to see the newest Videodrome. And then this is where it's revealed that he's been a bad guy the whole time. And he's been working with the guy that run Convex.
Yep. Mr. What was his word? Cabron?
Did he say Cabron? I thought he said Cabron.
Or what was it?
Patron?
Patron. Yeah, Patron.
Patron.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah, that's what it was. Patron.
I think Cabron might be a Spanish cuss word, so if anyone,
Well, no, I looked it up. It could be, or it could be just dude.
Okay, gotcha. Gotcha.
So we just said dude. That's all it means. So the whole like point of Videodrome is to like, in their mind, is to like rid us of our moral decay, And
Oh, is that what they said?
That's what it's, yeah. Like, that's what they say, I guess, is like the cultural decay of North America is the reason why.
Yeah. And then they also got into some big, like, the wars of the future won't be fought with guns, and like they went to that whole like spiel,
which
and
is
it was
scary because they're right.
They're completely right.
Yeah.
Fuck yes.
Every bit of this movie
Yes.
is right about the future.
Oh,
Just
yeah.
like RoboCop. Like there's so much shit that's like so true. But
RoboCop would be problematic in today's day. So.
Man, fuck today. Fuck today.
He was a good person. RoboCop's like, shut up, creep.
Your move, creep. But then this is where Convex puts the tape in Max's stomach.
The first.
Basically rapes him.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
pretty much rapes him.
If it's against his will, hey, that's...
Right.
Yeah.
And then under the influence of this, Max kills some of the people at the TV station that he manages. And then he later tries to kill Bianca. And then she stops him by showing him the tape of Nikki being killed on Videodrome.
Mm-hmm. Remember the scene where he like smacks her, and then like it turns out he didn't actually smack her. It was just like in his mind. That was the craziest thing, dude.
It was so good though, because like it felt so real, and like you're in his head the whole time.
The
like
entire
every bit
time.
of like the tricks or that he's going through, you're also going through. So
Yes.
it's pretty great. Yeah. So then she basically like redoes the programming in the tape, and like has Max on her side again. And then their whole cause is death to Videodrome, long live the new flesh. So then she tells him to go kill his old friend and Convex, the bad guy.
Yeah.
And then, so then Max, after killing them, he goes and hides in the Portlands. And then Nikki pops up on TV again and tells him that he has to like leave the old flesh to actually beat Videodrome.
Yeah.
And then the TV shows Max killing himself, shoot himself in the head, and then this causes the whole set to explode. And then this reenacting what he just witnessed, he says the long live the new flesh, then kills himself.
Yep.
And that's it.
That is Videodrome.
That is and it's crazy too because there's no part of this movie feels cliche. Not one single, like every bit of it just feels original. Like no movie had been made before this.
Yeah.
Like this is just its own thing.
Or after, I don't think. Right? Like there's nothing like Videodrome to this day. I don't think. Like,
there's a couple like smaller movies I think that get into the aspect, like the psychological aspect of it, but nothing that blends the psychology and the sci-fi together. So well.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Cronenberg's son did a movie last year called Possessor that's pretty good. Nowhere near as good as this, but it's pretty good. You know how they have like the helmets they put on to go into the Videodrome at one point?
To record the memories or whatever, the visions or whatever.
They to record the hallucinations. In Possessor, they put on a helmet to like go into someone else's body.
Oh no!
It's pretty
way.
crazy, yeah.
Man.
And it's like involuntary.
Oh really? Shit.
It's a cool movie.
Is it pretty good?
It's interesting.
Okay.
It's a little jumbled by the end, so that's why it's kind of like meh. But it's interesting that it's Cronenberg's son, and it's a halfway decent like sci-fi thriller, I would say. So, but yeah, this movie, the body horror, the drama, the acting, the action. Everything just feels very real, and that's like the best thing you can say about a sci-fi body horror movie. You know what I mean?
Like really, especially with like the crazy shit that happens. Like you still feel like you're there. It's not like, oh, okay, this is just a mood. Like no. Yeah, they immerse you completely before they get wacky with it, so it feels like. And any director who can make you like feel like you're at a place that you're not, they're evil. They're an evil like psychologist, just like Lynch. Like he's evil. All these guys are just fucking aliens. Like,
I mean, I think to be a great director, you have to be a master of psychology.
Yeah, I mean, how else would you like have people convey this?
Yeah, you're a showman. Like you're a master magician. Like you are building a 2-hour magic trick. You know?
And like watching movies now, I really see how it's literally, like you said, like a 2-hour magic trick, and I don't know, it has all the same aspects, like the start, finish, and like the big reveal and everything. It's pretty crazy.
Yep. But yeah, so I mean, we watched this, what, 3-4 years ago?
Yes.
And then
for the first time.
So watching it again, do you think it's better, or was it not quite as good the second time?
No, like the second time it was actually better watching it, just because, like I said, like I don't think this is a movie that, like, I feel like you deserve some type of warning or some type of like, yo, this movie's pretty crazy. So like when first going in watching it, and even like I said, that the sex scene with the needle, that kind of was like, it jarred me. So the rest of the movie I was just kind of like, it's like being on a roller coaster ride and you don't know, you're not reacting, you're just like.
No, we didn't get into that scene, but that scene where I think it's the Nikki girl.
Yeah.
Where they first have sex. It's after they've watched Videodrome.
Yes.
So it's like you say, it could be the influence of that, but it's really weird. Like, they're naked.
It is really weird.
I know he like pierces her ear.
Yeah.
And then like licks
the blood off of the needle he just put in her ear.
And then he does that with both ears. Right?
Yeah.
And then is that it for the weird? I mean,
I think so.
For that scene, the weird shit.
Yeah, I think so. I think that's it. But it's like really drawn out. Like he
really drawn out.
Like,
that's what I was just gonna say. It's not that simple.
Yeah.
It's very sexual, and it's very like you said, drawn out. Like
every time we watch that movie, I cannot watch that scene. Like I'll watch it. Like I'll think I can watch it. I'm like, I'll stomach it this time, and then and it's like, oh
yeah, I know. He puts it in the you're like, nope.
I'm like,
nope.
Yeah, it's fucked up.
Yeah, it's definitely. It's something that I think like anyone that digs like sci-fi or horror will really like.
Big time.
Even if you don't like horror, if you're like Star Trek and weird sci-fi shit like Twilight Zone, you'll definitely like this.
And that like conspiracy theory aspect, because like nowadays everyone's a conspiracy theorist. So.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of funny how that's like become a cool thing.
I
remember when we were kids, people like that were like crazy.
But yeah, you were seen as like the tinfoil hat person.
Yep. Out of 5.
Videodrome.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, I might have to give it like a 4.5.
Damn.
Yeah, that
okay.
I think it's a good.
I'd say a solid 4. Yeah.
That movie is
solid 4. Yeah. It's a great fucking.
It just makes my emotions run so high. It's like, oh god.
Yeah, it's very very like anxiety oriented. Yeah.
Big time.
For sure.
Like, yeah.
So yeah, we're gonna take a break, and then we're gonna be doing They Live. We'll be right back. What's up, guys? We're back with Double Feature Duty, episode 1. We just finished Videodrome, and now we're going to be reviewing They Live, 1988 film by John Carpenter, sci-fi conspiracy action movie, pretty much.
Yeah,
I guess that's how you have to describe it. Starring Roddy Piper and Keith David and Meg Foster. And a special appearance by hobo regular Buck Flower. Remember I told you that guy always plays a hobo?
Oh, yeah.
This is a pretty awesome movie. I can't really, like, say that much more with it. It's one of those movies where it's just, like, it's an awesome movie, and, like, just watch it. Like,
it's weird because, like, I feel like anyone can watch it, of course, but I feel like it's such, like, a bro movie. Like,
yes, very much
like, if
so.
you can watch it with the bros, for sure.
Yeah.
But then again, I feel like that's kind of insulting it because, like, when you say bro movie, like, I think people would think it's, like, dumb at, some aspect of it is dumb, but it's, like, really,
I would put it in the same vein of, like, From Dusk Till Dawn. Like,
okay.
Like, the same kind of, like you said, like a, dude night, like a bunch of guys hanging out, have beers, and watch a movie. Like, the Videodrome is so, like, I wanted to compare the two because of the thematic similarities.
Okay.
But yeah, rewatching them both, I think 2 or 3 times now.
Yeah. Videodrome for me it was 3.
Yeah, we watched it 2 times again, I think. Yeah.
Okay, and then They Live.
They Live. That was the 3rd time.
Oh yeah, that was the 3rd time. Yeah. Okay. So 3 to 3.
They are similar in like the conspiratory kind of ideas about the way television and ideas can affect us. Yeah, and the control the government has over people and stuff like that. So there's a lot of political and social themes that are similar.
Definitely.
But they're very different movies in the fact that Videodrome is, I would say Videodrome is more contemplative, and They Live is much more like visceral and straightforward. I guess is the best way to put it. Like,
even though at times Videodrome gets pretty fucking visceral.
Oh yes, but I just mean in like a because Videodrome is visceral, but it's always like in an abstract way.
Yes, definitely.
You know,
definitely.
and They Live is just bam bam.
Yeah.
Like ball to the wall. So opening They Live, we see Rowdy Piper with no name in this film. I guess after the fact they called him Nada.
Okay.
That's but they never call him that in the movie. Like he just doesn't have a name.
He just does not have a name.
He's the man with no name. He's like the mystic character, you know.
I did not notice that they did not call that's crazy.
That's cool, yeah, you never noticed,
cool.
you never picked up on it. That's cool, dude. Yeah, he's just kind of strolling down the road amid the poverty and filth of the city. He looks for a job with no luck, and then he stops his roaming and listens to a reverend in the street, seemingly rambling about the human spirit and society. And here Tommy J said that we were getting straight atmosphere.
Big time.
The beginning of the film visually tells the poor story of this guy, almost a foolproof way to empathize the protagonist and just make him relatable.
I noticed you were saying. I noticed that when you were saying that there was hardly any dialogue from the actual character. You know, it's just
from
anybody.
It's just him existing in it's him living his life and how shitty it is for him right now. He happens upon a new job site requesting to apply and is turned down because it's a union job. Keith David stops to try and give him some help, only for Rowdy to be silent and suddenly follow him wherever he might be going. They arrive at a homeless / labor camp where they all live in huts and in horrible conditions. And then you said that we need a meme. Well, you didn't say this specifically, but you pretty much said that we need a meme of the let's get something to eat moment as an instant homie meme.
Yeah, for
it's
sure.
Just that's the line you say.
Instant friends.
Yeah. The two men discuss hard times and how Rowdy still believes in America and that his time just hasn't come yet. And then also, as you pointed out, we get the obligatory harmonica music.
The homeless man playing the harmonica.
A little poor man crooning on the harmonica.
Struggle music.
Yeah. At the camp, their TV starts breaking up and getting feedback, displaying a message from an underground group of quote-unquote hackers dubbed by one of the homeless. The man informs that quote-unquote they have induced us into a constant trance, playing us for sheep. You gonna say something?
No. I was just saying. I didn't notice it's called "They Live" in the speech. It's like they. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. They say they are safe as long as they are not discovered. They want to keep us asleep, keep us selfish, and keep us sedated. It's here we also see the Reverend from before mouthing the words coming from the man on the TV. And then upon seeing some suspicious activity regarding the church nearby, Rowdy investigates and finds some of the people are involved in some conspiracy, masking their business with the audio recording of church worship.
Yep.
He's then caught by the Reverend, who demands to touch his face. And here Tommy suggested that because the Reverend is making sure that he's not one of the aliens.
The aliens that have the
which I've never thought about that.
Hey, it was the second time watching it, so
yeah.
I didn't catch this on the first time.
Right. Keith David urges Rowdy not to get involved and that he can't because he has a wife and children. And then I think the next day or maybe a few days later, the police raid their little village, pretty much ensuring that, again, quote-unquote, they know what our heroes are up to. In the aftermath, Rowdy investigates the church further to find a pile of boxes. Taking one of the boxes, he finds a bunch of sunglasses, and this is, to me, one of the best sci-fi sequences ever done. It's all done visually. There's no one explicitly says, you put on these glasses and they show you what the real one is like.
So you mean when he puts them on, what happens, when he's looking at everything for the first time?
Yeah, just all that visually done with no dialogue and
I think that's
so clearly done.
So clearly done and realistically. You wouldn't be like, oh, that sign right there, it's different. oh, look at
Right,
the...
you wouldn't
you
wouldn't be standing there saying it all out
No,
loud.
you'd be shocked.
It's like you said, it's realistic because like you're not saying anything, and it's also I think he's trying to keep us cool because he knows. You know what I mean? He probably knows there's people watching him. So Rowdy puts the glasses on only to see the world around him for what it truly is: an alien-controlled consumerist society. Upon more roaming, Rowdy encounters his first alien, appearing to be a rich guy at a newsstand. We then get some atmospheric sleep chants broadcasting from various electronics in the city. Every billboard, magazine, any sort of advertisement that's shown is shown through the shades as obey or sleep or consume or some variation of that.
Definitely.
Here in a supermarket, Rowdy sees a few colleagues discussing promotion at their job, revealing that the aliens have a nepotic advantage over normies, like they have just because they're aliens.
They're aliens, yeah.
And then we have a few more quotes here for you guys. This is going to be probably the most quoted review we've ever done. You look like your head fell in the cheese dip. Sorry, I gotta.
No, you're good.
You look like your head fell in the cheese dip back in 1957. And then also, this is the one you like so much. You're okay. This one, real fucking ugly.
Yes, sir. This is the one that I use in real life, by the way, randomly. So,
when you're on Tinder?
Yeah.
You're okay.
Swipes right. You're also okay.
Oh, man. So then the rich lady speaks into her wrist. I've got one that can see. And then everyone in the supermarket starts kind of walking towards him, speaking into the wrist. And he goes,
all zombie-like.
I don't like this one bit.
Yeah.
Not one bit. And then he has his first confrontation with the police, who appear as normal police, but because he has the glasses, he sees they're both aliens.
Yes, sir.
And then he says to them, you like this line too, you look as shitty to us as we do to you.
Yes, like the alien said that to
yeah.
you. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's pretty funny. And then we have the scene that I think this movie is probably most well known for, but it's weird because it's known for it through Duke Nukem. The Duke Nukem games, he says the same line, I think.
Oh, the chew bubblegum?
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's from this movie. I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass, and I'm all out of bubblegum. And that's the line I think is probably the most well known out of this movie.
Probably the most used. Like,
probably the most badass
history.
Too. Yeah, it's a great line. I love here that Rowdy tries to play it cool, acting like he isn't holding a full-size shotty.
Literally trying to, like, and we were saying it's like in GTA when you got like 4 stars on you, you're just trying to walk through a crowd. Yeah. You're carrying a fucking missile launcher, like, it's ridiculous.
We get a confrontation with a human cop, and we see this because it's black and white, so we see for sure he's a human. Rowdy doesn't kill him. He tells him, beat your feet. And then this is where Meg Foster picks Rowdy up. Her name's Holly, I think, yeah. And then he determines if she lives alone and suggests they go to her house. And then when they get there, she has a gay couple that are her neighbors.
Yeah.
And they seem kind of like nosy. I don't know. They're just like staring.
No,
at
it's
her.
like nosy, borderline strange. How
They're like staring after her. It's a little weird. And then one of my favorite lines, after Rowdy sits down, like all exhausted, he goes, "Look, things turn out a little sour for me today." Yeah. It's just such an understatement of what has happened.
Yeah.
Holly, after a little conversation, Holly hits Rowdy over the head, knocking him down a cliff near her home, then calling, quote unquote, the police. And the first time you're watching it, you think it's the police.
Well, it's like from what they've shown, it's like we know who the police are now.
True. The next day, Nada goes back. I guess, yeah, I'm going to start calling him Nada because that's his name in the movie, I guess.
Okay.
He goes back for the box of sunglasses that he left in the alley. And then Frank meets him there, Keith David's character.
Okay.
And he gives him like 2 weeks pay or something like that just to try to help him out. This is where he tries to get Frank to put on the sunglasses, and they get into like probably the longest fist fight I've maybe ever seen.
It's pretty drawn out.
It's really drawn out, and it's so funny to me because it's so it is drawn out, but it's also very real.
Yeah, it is.
Like, it never feels like movie action. Like, there's not like crazy angles or anything. It's just like long takes of a pretty brutal.
It's not just like choreography. Like,
it doesn't feel like sexy.
Yeah.
Like, it's just like, here it is, you know. I love that about it. We see that Frank thinks that Nada is a killer, and then he's kind of suspicious of him. But then after a really long fight, like we said, he gets Frank to put on the sunglasses, and this is where he sees a little UFO. And Frank is just like, "What the hell is that?"
He freaks out. Yeah,
which is understandable.
Yes.
They find Gilbert, and Gilbert leads them to the underground movement they got going on, the people that were in the church kind of thing. This is where they're given the contact lenses.
Okay.
To kind of,
It's like, well, it's the upgrade.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool. It's like,
that's funny.
They're
I remember you said that the first time I watched it. You're like, dude, this is like a video game where you get like level 2, you get like an upgraded like vision or whatever.
Yes.
Yeah. I thought that was funny.
Like going from sunglasses to contact lenses.
I never even thought about that.
It's cool, bro. That is awesome.
So then they learn, I guess that the aliens are utilizing global warming to terraform our planet.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I forgot about all that. There's a lot of like political stuff in this movie that's kind of like.
But it's not overdone. It's not like we're trying to send a message.
No,
here. Like
no.
it's
no. At the end of the day, it's entertainment still. But yeah, I forgot about it. That probably is like, okay, really, like you had to add global warming in there.
Yeah. Greta Thunberg would be proud.
I also learn the aliens have been hiring and collaborating with humans and giving them like positions of power and money and everything you could ever want kind of thing. You know, definitely the bad guys for sure. So then Holly gets to the meeting and she acts like she's sorry with Nada, and then she gives them some information about the signal. That is coming like through all the TVs. But then the meeting again is raided like before, and then they all kind of like run away and split up. Yeah, it's pretty sad, honestly. It's sad and like scary. But the police completely surround the area, and then the two main guys, Nada and Frank, they're kind of caught in an alley, and then they accidentally activate wristwatch off one of the dead guys near them or something, right? And then they teleport to the headquarters. So then they're there, and there's a big meeting of all like the ritzy rich people or whatever, and not all of them, right? Because some of them were humans, but most of them were aliens. Most of them were aliens. And they're like celebrating that they got rid of the extremists or whatever. And then the guy, George Buck, who I was saying is like always a hobo. Mm-hmm. Remember he popped up?
He's like
all
rich
fancy.
as hell, yeah.
He's ritzy, he's got like a fancy suit, and he's all cleaned up. And he takes them to the like base of where the signal's coming from.
Yeah.
And he's like, this is the base of our whole operation. He like explains it all to them like they just showed up because they're like indoctrinated or whatever.
Remember he literally says like, you guys are whatever, right? He's like, you guys are like indoctrinated, right? And they're like, yeah. He's like, all right, come on. Like, it's so funny. Like, oh man.
I don't remember how he asked them.
I forgot how he says it, but yeah, he's like, you guys pretty much, you guys are part of the movement. Right?
Yeah,
like the alien.
You guys were
movement,
one
right?
of us, right?
Yeah. I think that might be what he said.
Is that what
something
he said?
Close to that, yeah. But yeah, it's pretty cool seeing the homeless man. He's all like fancy.
It's funny, yeah.
It's weird because there's a little sense of realism in there. It's like, would you die and you're homeless? Like,
right, yeah.
Man.
But it's also funny to me. I think it is a joke on the fact that he always plays a hobo. So it's like, you got to be a fancy guy in this one. You know, I think that's actually
pretty cool.
Because he comes back in Wishmaster, he was a hobo in that too.
Oh man,
he's like cussing Wishmaster out. It's pretty great.
Oh my god.
So they get there, and once they're at the kind of like base operation, they find Holly, because I guess someone had her prisoner, she disappeared or something. And then they get their way up to the satellite on top of the building.
Well,
Oh,
yeah,
this is where Holly kills Frank.
kills Frank. I was going to say, most of them get to the satellite. But,
he definitely dies.
Yeah.
So, yeah, she is working with the bad guys, which, depending on how many movies you've seen, you might see that coming. You know what I mean? Did you see it coming
the
at
first
all?
time I did not see it
At
coming.
all?
Yeah, like,
okay.
I didn't, yeah.
That's
I
pretty cool.
gotta say, I didn't know that she was going to do that until... You know what I mean?
I just mean like nowadays with all the movies, like all the times they've done that,
right,
with like
now.
the pretty girl that betrays you. You know what I mean? It's like all the Bond movies they've done, and all the.
Hey, even Lil Lynch, like he'll pull that out sometimes, bro.
Yeah.
The pretty girl that'll end up killing you. Like,
yeah, the femme fatale. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
But then Rowdy or Nada, whatever you want to call him, kills Holly, and then in a last like ditch effort to just end this whole thing, he says "fuck it," and he shoots the satellite. It's pretty awesome. It like blows up. Does he die right there? Does he die in the explosion? I think, or do they shoot him? I don't remember.
I'm not too sure actually.
Oh yeah, he dies because he dies. I think from the explosion. He's laying there, but he gives the middle finger, like as he's dying.
Oh man.
I remember, that's great.
Dude.
The signal is pretty much like canceled out. It's not being broadcast anymore, and the world starts going back to normal. And the last shot of the movie, it's this couple having sex,
right?
And the girl's like on top of him, and she stops for a second and looks down at him, and he's got the zombie face, and he goes, "What's wrong, baby?"
Yeah, yeah.
I love that. It's a perfect end to that movie.
It's pretty cool because after the signal ends, like before the sex scene, remember like kids start going back outside and like everyone's like playing with each other again. It's pretty cool. It's like they could have done that ending like nowadays. You know what I mean? With like, especially how much technology is just.
They Live is pretty relevant still today, I would say.
Which is the mark of when a movie just doesn't age.
That's art.
Like that's beauty.
That's true cinema for sure. Timelessness. Okay, so now to compare the two.
Okay.
Which one told their story better?
Ooh, which one told the story?
In your opinion, yeah. I just have like basic questions I'm gonna kind of.
No, you're good, for sure. I think maybe They Live told the story better, just because in Videodrome it delivers the message pretty well, but it just gets like fucking wacky at the end.
Very complicated too.
It gets it gets insane at the end. And, I think that could kind of like not really dilute, but like kind of take you away from the main purpose, because it just gets crazy and cultish at the end. It's like
John Carpenter is always very good. The guy who made They Live, he's very good at like telling a direct story.
And that's what I was gonna say. Like They Live is just way more direct. You know what I mean? It's just like right there. There's some clever shit, but it's like
right. Okay, so They Live wins that. Which do you think is more true about society? Videodrome and like the obsession with entertainment, or
I think
Videodrome.
Yeah, I think Videodrome for sure. Just because like, so like the conspiracy theory thing with They Live, like they use aliens, but I think like remember when we were in like middle school and everyone was like, oh, the Illuminati's running all this shit, but then you find out it's really just like the government's evil, and it's like I don't know, like they use aliens, whatever, but in Videodrome, I feel like it's just more relatable because, you know, in the movie they try to act like whatever porn they're showing, like, oh, this is so bad, and how the guy is like, it's just like everyone's repressed and they would actually watch this. I feel like that's definitely way more.
Okay, it's way more like true to life.
Just because like in They Live, like the conspiracy comes to life, kind of. You know what I mean? And it's like some conspiracies nowadays are just like crazy that shit. You know what I mean? Just crazy shit. But yeah.
Okay. So one They Live, one Videodrome.
For sure.
What's the tiebreaker question? I got the ultimate tiebreaker question for you.
What's up?
Which is a better movie?
Shit. I feel like I'm just so much of a bro already, so I'd have to give it to They Live. Like I said, there was like Videodrome is a complicated movie. Like you got to be a certain person to be able to sit through that movie and like.
And get it.
Like I said, the first time we watched that shit, I literally had a headache. So I was like, yeah, it's a good ass movie, but that movie is just like deep. It's a deep movie.
Okay.
Yeah. You know what I mean? I'm more of a casual movie goer, so.
Okay. Yeah. So yeah, I think They Live wins then.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Okay.
What about for you? Just like
the thing about movies at the end of the day, before anything else, is they have to be entertaining. If it's not entertaining, there's not a point to it.
Big time.
Even if entertainment comes through social commentary, even if entertainment comes through science fiction. So I mean, action, drama, whatever genre you're working in. But to me, I think Videodrome has a more important message to say.
Right.
But I think They Live executes their idea better at the end, like just pound for pound. And I don't want to just side with like the more actiony one. It's like the action one, but at the same time, I think if you're looking at the goal each movie had, I think They Live just scored a little bit higher.
A little bit higher.
Just because of how, like we said, how clear it was, how decided the point of view is, and not even the point of view like it's telling you how to feel, but just like the point of view of showing you how bad these characters have it and what their experiences are and kind of what they have to go through to make it better, you know. And Videodrome is kind of like that, but it only gets better right when he kills himself.
Yeah,
like at the very end. So it's like,
and like that movie, like the further it goes, it's like a spiral. Like it's like when you're done with that movie, it's like you were spinning in a chair for an hour and then you just like stand up. You're like, oh man.
Yeah. So They Live wins then.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I don't know if it wins just because I'm not, you know what I mean? Like maybe a person that likes abstract movies.
Well, I'm just saying, like, you know this is us. Yeah, this is our.
Yeah,
this is Kirk and Tommy doing a double feature duty
for sure.
So okay, guys, episode 1, They Live takes it. Our next one, we're gonna try to do I want to try to do 3 of these this month.
Okay.
So I want to try to do 2 more, but we'll see because I know it's a lot.
Are we gonna have like a little fight card thing? It's like They Live moves up one. We're gonna
have
both of them battle at the end.
You're gonna have like a little kind of tournament at the end. That'll be funny.
The 2 best movies.
So the next one we're gonna be doing is Kroll and the Last Starfighter.
Oh yeah.
I'm excited about this one. These are 2 cheesy sci-fi movies that I've watched since I was little that my dad loves.
It's the 80s, right?
Yeah, they're both 80s. 83 and 84, I want to say. Yeah, pretty good stuff.
Man, The Last Starfighter.
Dude, I love those movies.
Those
are 2 movies I've been wanting to review for a long time.
That's going to be a good one.
I'm excited about that. So stay tuned, guys. Please come back for that one. That's coming up next. So we'll see you soon.
Peace.